Hey there, welcome back to Balancing Divine Ascension Frequencies with Ari Jade, aka Shelleygeurin. So, let's talk more about this sigil, okay, which stands for We Owe Zero, which is what we should always strive to keep foremost in our lives. We have been put in a trap of thinking, especially if you're middle class or lower class, that we are always going to have to be in debt. Well, Proverbs 22:7 tells us that the borrower is always a slave to the lender. Let that sink in for just a second. If you owe someone money for anything, they can come take that from you. It's not yours. You are borrowing it and paying payments so that hopefully you can own it one day. Our only debt, consistent debt, should be on our house, and that should only last for 15 years, never 30. Let me say that again. Your house note should never be over 15 years. And if it is, you have bought too much house. You can't afford it. Okay? And we should be able to pay that 15-year note off in 10. Because we need to be financially independent. The only thing we can ever really control is ourselves. We have no control over anyone else. We can try to change their attitude and their behaviors according to ours, but we can never actually control them. So the one thing that I realized very early on was I had control over the size that my body got. My mother was overweight, and she continually struggled with trying not to eat, trying to eat the right things, trying to exercise, trying to get her body back to being what it was before she had children. And she could never do that. So I set out as a young child to make sure that that never happened to me. And what I realized is all I had to do to keep this in check was to watch what went in my mouth. A lot along the same lines, all we have to do to keep this reality in check, or this fake illusionary Maya box that we create that surrounds us, is to watch what comes out of our mouths. Okay? So you are speaking things into existence. So you receive your soul, you receive your consciousness through a transcendental vibration. All right? And once you receive your consciousness, remember step number 1, as soon as consciousness hits your mind in the morning and you wake up again, thank you. Thank you for letting me do this again. Before all the thoughts and all the other, and the trying to jump out of bed and trying to grab the phone and all of that, maintain a homeostatic vibration. Calmly thank Spirit for allowing you to do this again. Then allow the thoughts to come in. Theoretically, then you should stretch and do your yoga, but one step at a time. That calming, peaceful thought that you chose allows you to be in control of the thought generator for the day. Okay? So once you get that into play and you start your day moving, then you want to be able to control your emotions, your emotional energy, your energy in motion. When these come up, they're going to want to come straight out. And that's what a reaction is. It's just, this happened, and therefore, F you. This, you cut me off in traffic, screw you. That's our impulse. That's our reaction. No, we have to pull back and create enough space to where even if we feel that, or when we feel that, and we're not suppressing, we're just allowing it to move through without anchoring into the body with our words. Okay? So you want to feel it and then breathe. Okay? It's very, very dense and compact when you feel it. But if you don't react, if you respond, then you are creating space in between the particles, and you are helping to loosen the grip of that space. So we are light, and we're light beings. We're sentient light beings. And the thoughts of consciousness come in, and then we react and we respond, and we make things solid. And they come out, they bridge over into the 3D realm that we live in, right? So if we don't want negative happenstances, negative circumstances surrounding us, we have to breathe light into the situation to create less density or to spread those particles apart. My students who have had me in science class know exactly what I'm talking about, because we spend so much time talking about the vibrationary particles and their states of matter. They're vibrating at their slowest rate when they're packed in almost solid. They're not able to actually move and flow around each other in their solid state. But your consciousness changes the state of matter. Your consciousness adds the energy that changes the vibration, that changes that particle. Okay? First it's energy, and then it condenses into a wave particle, or into a particle. It's a wave of energy that condenses down into a solid or liquid particle, right? So you not reacting, you holding the space and just holding your response, even holding your facial features, because you can let someone know exactly what's in your mind without opening your mouth. You can show all the judgment in the world all on your face. And remember, to reach neutrality, you have to reach a state of non-judgment. Look at where Miss Teacher spelled that wrong. Put the E in there. I needed AI to help me, right? And in thinking about this is the wave, right? You've got your baseline here, and you're constantly coming up into the heavenly realms, into the head, and you're constantly going down into the heels or hell, the soles of your feet down here. But look at what's formed in this. Of course it is the symbol for currency. Symbols are all around you. Hidden occult knowledge. Occult means hidden. They made us think it was a bad thing when I was a kid. So anytime I heard the word occult, I thought, oh, no, get away from that. All it means is hidden knowledge. So all of this has been hidden from us to keep us from being without debt. Because as long as we are indebted to the machine, we are having to feed it our energy, our money to survive. And we don't want a life of survival. We want a life of thriving. You deserve a life where you thrive. You deserve a life where you don't work 10 to 12 hours a day to pay the rent and to put clothes on your kids' backs. You deserve free time to enjoy, to live in joy with this life. So as you learn to control your mouth and all of your emotions, you will create the space of peace and joy, which are the higher realms of the spectrum, to where manifestation and creativity come more easily. Okay? So if you'll remember the sides of the brain, come over here, your right side, left versus the right side of the brain, your right side is always going to be in analysis and logic and facts. This is your sciencey side here. This is your creative side over here. The left side, which is your more feminine side of the brain, your intuition, your creation, your imagination. This is where you are in flow, but you have to balance those. You have to bridge in between these to be able to navigate the world that we have, the world that we are to live in. So I know that you are working hard, pulling out that shadow, pulling up the icky stuff, dealing with the things that you don't really want to deal with, because if we don't deal with them, they just recycle. They happen over and over and over. We'll marry a different looking man, but we'll end up with the same results as we had with the first one. If we don't kill our fears, then we're going to continually cycle through them again and again and again. Good luck to you. Have a great day. Love to you. Find another video. Come see us at Folk AF on Rainbow Drive in Gadsden, or come see us digitally in the ether. We have a shop online to help you get all of your best life while you're here. There is no sense in being a slave to the system anymore, because you don't have to be. There's no sense in being in debt anymore, because you don't have to be. You may not know the hows or the steps to what's going to pull you out of debt, or what's going to make you into the person that you know that you were put here to be. You don't have to know those things. Spirit does. Reconnect with your higher self. Reconnect with spirit. Pull your mind, body, and soul together, making the triune, and let's do this. Let's build this community full of healthy, happy, and abundant people, because that's why we're here, guys. Grow with me. Love to you.